Hi, everyone, welcome to Film World Recaps channel. Today we have brought a super movie called Dangerous Water, which is released in 2023 and can be watched by curiosity. This is Rosie. Rosie goes for a ride in the Bermuda Triangle with her mom and mom's boyfriend. They are caught by a group of kidnappers in the middle of the sea. That's where this great movie starts. Before going to the full story, please subscribe to the channel and click on the notification icon. Don't forget to like it. Let's go to the movie. Rosie's mother is Alma. After Rosie's father died, Rosie's mother started a romantic relationship with a man named Derek. The story shows us that Derek is a security officer. But Rosie doesn't like this relationship that much. As the film begins, Rosie wishes Alma happy birthday. "Happy birthday, Mom. Thank you, honey. Come home early today. There is a special trip to go," Alma says. Rosie works in a hotel. Then in the evening Rosie finishes work and comes home. After that, they are preparing to go for a ride to the Bermuda Triangle. But Rosie doesn't like this much. They get into the car with the things they need for the trip. But the car won't start at that time, but somehow Alma fixes the car and goes to where the boat is. At that time, Rosie asks Alma, "Mom, why do you like this man so much? It's not even been a month since you met him. What is special about that man?" But Alma says, "Don't say that, honey. Derek is a good person." At that time Derek arrives at the port. After that, the three will start traveling to the Bermuda Triangle by boat. Derek describes the ride to Alma during the boat ride. At this time, Rosie is sleeping in the room, because she is not interested in this trip. After a while Rosie comes to them. Rosie came with a cake to celebrate Alma's birthday with Derek. This makes Alma very happy. At this time, Derek teaches about the journey and how to set the sails and tie knots to them. Then Derek gives Rosie and Alma some gifts. Alma is given a t-shirt and Rosie is given a knife. Alma admires the beauty of the t-shirt and Rosie asks Derek why he gave me this knife. Derek says the knife will be very useful to you. Rosie thanks him and leaves, leaving Alma and Derek alone. After a while, Alma climbs on the boat and takes photos, and falls into the sea. At this point, Rosie is very upset. Derek tells Rosie not to worry, he will save Alma. While Derek rescues Alma, Rosie goes to fetch the medicine. Alma saves life without any trouble. Rosie is scared and very angry at this time because this trip brought them together. Alma doesn't care about this incident, but Rosie is very scared because Rosie only has her mother. Then Rosie notices there's a gun worth in the room. Rosie asks Derek why such a big gun. Derek says that I need a gun for my work because I am a security guard. Rosie has a little doubt about Derek but she doesn't show it. Rosie then asks Derek if he can teach me how to shoot. Derek teaches Rosie to shoot. Alma is watching this from the side, but Alma does not want Rosie to learn to shoot because her father was also an army soldier and he died in a war. After that we are shown an incident that happens that night. While Derek and Alma are eating, another boat comes and crashes into their boat. On that boat, a group of people with guns come to their boat. Rosie is currently in her room, secretly watching what is happening outside without Rosie coming out. They shoot Derek as well as Alma. Rosie is hiding and waiting for these other things. After that, the group attack Derek and push him into the sea. And then he attacks Alma. At that time, Alma sees Rosie and tells her not to come up, stay hidden. Alma dies from a gunshot fired by the people who came on the boat. Then, suddenly, a person enters the room where Rosie is. But that person goes back saying he found what he was looking for. Before they leave Rosie's boat, they set the entire boat on fire. And then Rosie comes out. But Derek is nowhere to be seen. Rosie sees her mother dead. Rosie gets very angry with Derek. Unable to imagine what to do to her now, Rosie ties her mother's body with ropes. Now she is alone in the middle of the sea. She has nothing to eat and no water to drink because the boat caught fire. And just like that, she sees water coming into the boat through a hole in the boat, and she tries to cover it alone. While Rosie is thinking, she suddenly hears a noise, and she goes to see it. Rosie sees Derek screaming for help from the sea. Then Rosie takes Derek on the boat with great difficulty. Then Rosie puts medicine on Derek's wounds. At that time, Derek loses consciousness due to the strong medicine and the pain of his injuries. Rosie goes inside and wonders what to do, and after a while Derek comes to his senses. At that time, Derek says that we need to get to land quickly or we will be alone in the middle of the sea. After that, these two try as much as possible to get to land by boat. But that work is not going well. At this point, Derek starts screaming in panic. Rosie, who is very afraid of that, goes to the room and takes the gun. After a while, when Rosie goes on top of the boat, she sees land. After that, these two try to go to land with a light boat on the boat. But Rosie tries to stay on the boat because she is sad to leave her mother's body. But because of Derek's request, Rosie gets on the light board. And because Derek is injured, he can't row the boat, so Rosie has to row the boat. Rosie is rowing the light boat with difficulty and the oar breaks. When Rosie tries to grab the oar, Rosie falls into the sea. Derek, who sees Rosie drowning in the sea, jumps into the sea to save her, as she cannot swim. And then, somehow, Derek rescues Rosie and comes to land. Rosie is unconscious. Derek even gives Rosie artificial respiration, and somehow Rosie regains consciousness after a while. After that, Derek walks everywhere on this island. They realize that there is no one on the island, and Derek wonders how to make the boat. At night, he goes to a place like a cave and talks to both of them. Derek ties Rosie's hands saying that he will teach her another rope knot. At that time Rosie asks who killed my mother. Rosie says I want to finish that guy. But Derek says, that's the captain, let alone finishing him off, he can't even come close. Rosie notices that Derek has a transmitter. Rosie asks Derek why it didn't send the information. When Derek says nothing, Rosie keeps asking about it. Unable to escape Rosie's trouble, Derek says that he could have sent the information, but he wanted Rosie and Rosie's mother to be with him. With that, Rosie attacks Derek and runs away, but Derek shoots Rosie and chases after Rosie. In the morning, Rosie sees that the light boat is near the island, but because of Derek's shooting, she can't get there. Suddenly Derek falls from the top, injuring him badly. At that time, Rosie goes to Derek. Derek then tells Rosie to get him to the boat or he will finish Rosie. Derek also says that Rosie needs him to survive this, but Rosie doesn't ask anything and escapes from the light board and comes to the boat. Now Rosie is alone and very helpless, and now it is very late at night. Rosie screams for help. At that time a ship comes to save Rosie and takes the gun that Rosie has. When Rosie tells the details to the people on the ship, she realizes that these are the people who killed her mother. They give food and drink to Rosie. At that time Rosie sees a girl who was there, and the group quickly take that girl to the room. After that, Rosie goes to the captain and deceives him, saying that you are the one who killed my mother, and finishes him off. With this noise, the group panics and comes looking for Rosie. By that time Rosie finished the captain, and when she ran away, she met the girl she had seen before. The girl says, "Oh, there are many more girls here to save us." That's when Rosie remembers Derek's story about the captain being very fond of young girls. Rosie then asks where the guns are on this ship. The girl says that the storage room is where most of the stuff is. After that, Rosie manages to take a gun and finish off all of the captain's group. After a while, Rosie goes upstairs and sees Derek coming. Rosie asks Derek how he survived, and Rosie says that I finished off the captain who killed my mother. You lie, Derek beats Rosie. Derek then says we're all friends, don't you know that? As the fight continues, Rosie manages to stab Derek. After that, Rosie goes to a port with the other girls on the ship. Meanwhile, the other women on the ship thank Rosie. After that, Rosie Harbor Police came and asked to hand over the girls who were on the ship to their homes. The port police says we will deliver you home, but Rosie says I don't have a home now. The port police says we will give you a home. That's where this great movie ends. Subscribe the channel and comment your valuable opinion. See you in the next movie.